Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स पे कमेंट करके बता सकते हो, so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes because I see that people are joining in, and we should be good to go with today's mid-market session in a minute from now. अगर आपने अभी ज्वाइन किया, आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो. प्रवीण जी, गुड आफ्टरनून. गुगन जी, गुड आफ्टरनून. सुनीश जी, आरडी जी, श्रीधर जी एंड विनय जी, गुड आफ्टरनून. ग्रेट. नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड आफ्टरनून. सुधाकर जी, ज्ञान सिंह जी, हाय. विजय जी, हाय. एक्चुअली एक कमेंट आया है मुझे. I think somebody has written KM Gaming, SBI डीमैट ट्रेडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म में जब कमोडिटी नहीं है तो फिर क्रूड के बारे में लेक्चर देकर वक्त बर्बाद करने से क्या फायदा. कम ऑन गाइस. आई थिंक देयर आर स्टिल पीपल हु थिंक मैं यहाँ पे क्रूड के बारे में लेक्चर देने वाला हूँ. ठीक है, एनीवे लेट्स इग्नोर दैट. अर्जुन जी, गुड आफ्टरनून. Okay. So on that note, so let's begin today's mid market session. ये जूम डी है. आई थिंक इससे ज्यादा जूम, आई थिंक मे बी यू कैन चेंज द क्वालिटी. शायद अगर आप यूट्यूब में अगर आप कमेंट, आई मीन इफ यू आर सीइंग दैट, यू कैन चेंज योर क्वालिटी टू 720p. आई थिंक शायद तभी और थोड़ा क्लियर दिख सकता है. Okay, so let us start off with today's mid market session. So first up with an update on the global markets first. So कल अगर हम US markets की बात करें, so Dow Jones closed 0.26% higher. S&P 500 closed 0.56% higher, while the Nasdaq closed 0.78% higher. So US markets again, they've been on a good run in yesterday's trade. So overall positive sentiment in the US markets. If you look at Dow futures, it's up 29 points. So again, we can expect a slight flat to positive start to the US markets today. If you look at the Europe markets, in fact, Europe markets had a very good day. Germany was up around 1.12%. London was up 1.23%, while France was up 0.81%. And Eurostox index was flat. That was just up around 1 points. So again, Eurostox index. So even, Europe markets also closed in positive. If you look at the Asian markets, so Hang Seng, I think the holiday, it's up 0.57%. Even Nikkei is closed 0.57%. If you see, China is closed until February 23rd due to Lunar New Year. But Kospi, if you look at Kospi, that has been the best performing Asian index. That was up around 3%. And I think Kospi continues to, keep moving up higher. If you look at our markets, Sensex is down 0.87%. So we are seeing some pressure in our markets today. I mean, there are a couple of reasons. We'll talk about that. And Nifty is down 210 points, down nearly about 0.8%. So जो पिछले 3 दिन में एक steady अप्पू जो हमने देखा था, there is a sizable bearish candle that is being formed on the daily chart here, and clearly the markets seem to be under some pressure in today's trade. If you look at the macro indicators, so in fact there are a couple of things to worry about for now. One would be dollar index. अगर हम dollar index देखें तो धीरे धीरे ये जो pullback almost 95.3 तक आया था, अब वो धीरे धीरे बढ़ते हुए 97.37 जा चुका है. पिछले 4-5 ट्रेडिंग सेशन से एक रेंज में ट्रेड हो रहा था. So dollar index moving higher means dollar is strengthening against the basket of 6 major currencies, जो कि usually emerging markets like us, उनके लिए थोड़ा सा एक negative sign है. दूसरी तरफ अगर आप देखोगे डॉलर बाय रुपी, डॉलर हैज आल्सो गिवन अ ब्रेकआउट, 91 तक अब पहुंच गया है. सो $1 इज 91 रुपीज नाउ. पिछले अगर आप देखोगे 6 फरवरी से ऑलमोस्ट एक साइडवेज रेंज में ही था डॉलर बाय रुपी. And today this breaking above this zone, I think that is one of the reasons why the markets are under pressure, because whenever dollar strengthens against the rupee, उस दिन markets pressure में रहता है. If you look at the government bonds, अगर हम Indian 10-year government bond yields देखें, so almost यहाँ पे 50-day EMA से एक support लेते हुए नजर आ रहा है. We are at 6.67% at this point. If you look at the Japanese 10-year yields, even the Japanese 10-year yields have also seen some correction from almost 2.38%. That was the high. And we have gone down to 2.14% here. And most importantly, I feel if you look at the US government bonds 10-year yields, so there has been some good amount of purchase, which brought the yields down in the US. But we are seeing some pullback from almost around the 4% mark. But I feel till the time we are below 4.15, 4.2%, I think nothing much to worry as far as the bond markets are concerned. But I think one major cause of worry will be how the crude oil prices move from here. Because if we see crude oil moved about almost 4.39% yesterday. So there are reports of military action by US against the Iran. So I think that is the reason why crude oil prices have been seeing some volatility. But overall, the trajectory for crude is positive. So today's concept session will be based on crude only. So we'll discuss that towards the end. So I feel $71 a barrel is a strong resistance for crude oil. And I think if we break above $71, then high chances are that we might move towards $75-80 a barrel in the short term. And usually a higher crude oil prices for an oil importing nation like India, that is not a good sign. So one is dollar strengthening against the rupee. Secondly, if you see crude oil prices are almost on the verge of a breakout here. So we'll discuss about अगर higher crude oil prices है तो कौन से companies को benefit होता है, कौन से companies pressure में रहते हैं. So we'll see all that. If you look at India VIX again, if you see it had dropped to almost 9.7, and from there on it has gone up to 13. So there is some significant uptick in the volatility index as well. VIX is up around 7.3%, but अगर आप lows से देखोगे 9.7 से, so that would have been even higher. So the third important factor that is weighing on the market sentiment is the rise in VIX. So there is definitely some kind of fear that we can see in the markets today. So dollar strengthening against the rupee, crude oil prices almost on the verge of a breakout. Thirdly, if you see even the volatility index is kind of gone up, it's up around 7%. I think that could probably due to the US in Iran tensions. That's what the reports are saying. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens there. If you look at silver and gold, so silver continues to trade in a range. I feel जब तक हम $90 an ounce के ऊपर नहीं जाते हैं, the overall trend for silver is likely to remain bearish. If you look at gold again, you can see there is some uptick in gold as well. Usually, whenever there is geopolitical tensions, gold seems to rise. So I feel, I think $5,100 an ounce, that's a strong resistance for gold. And I think any break above 5,100 can again make gold attractive, and can that push the gold prices even higher from the current levels. So if you look at the FI positioning, so again a good day as far as the FIs were concerned yesterday. So FIs bought around 1,154 crores worth of shares, and they've been net buyers in the last two sessions. So they have bought around 2,150 crores. But the buying figure is still small compared to the selling that we saw 2 days earlier, that is on the 13th and 16th, where they sold around 8,367 crores. So बीच में एक अच्छा buying momentum pickup हुआ था, then came a big round of selling by the FIs, and again they have kind of started their steady up move again. This needs to continue and this needs to be consistent. But if you look at FIIs, I mean, they've not been very consistent with their flows. I mean, they would sell, then there would be a couple of days of buying, then there would be some small buying figures, then some heavy selling, then again buying here. Uh, I mean, this is something that we don't want. We want a steady and consistent buying, from the FIIs. I think that is the thing that could lift the mood in the market as well. Because, I mean, let's admit that, FIIs kind of bring a lot of liquidity. And, having FII participation, it gives much needed boost to the markets. I mean, that is what the markets are lacking currently. Though retail participation has increased, DII participation has increased, but when FIs participate, that is what drives the market a lot. So I feel when FIs really come back, that is the time you will have a less of range bound days and more of volatile days when FIs truly return back. Now, if you look at the long short ratio, so long short ratio is at 22.82%, nearing about 23% now. So some steady, short covering that is seen in index futures as well, but this needs to improve. It's not moving at a fast pace. It's kind of moving extremely slow and steady. Uh, I think this long short ratio needs to improve. It needs to go to 25, 30, 35. That is, जितना shorts यहाँ से cover होंगे उतना markets के लिए काफी एक important बन सकता है. Now talking about Nifty, so this is where I think Nifty, अगर आपको याद है, हमने 2 दिन पहले ये लेवल देखा था जहाँ पे ये गैप फिल होने वाला था कल के सेशन में. If you remember, we had discussed about 25,770, 25,780 levels in Nifty. This was acting as a major resistance, and since it broke out, it kind of moved higher. But again, today, Nifty took resistance around the 25,880, 25,900 mark. And पहले ही candle से ही अगर आप देखोगे, Nifty has been moving only one way, that is towards the south here. So, clearly 25,900 is now acting as a strong resistance for Nifty. And on the downside, we have even broken below the major support as well. ये जो 25,660, 25,650 का जो zone था, वो एक strong support zone था. I feel now the resistance has kind of, the next support for Nifty, I feel, would be this mark. I think 25,570, because यही से अगर आप देखोगे 17 फरवरी को यही लेवल से एक बाइंग आया था. So hopefully around 25,570, we should see some kind of buying interest coming in. If not, I think if we go below this level, then I feel the next support would be somewhere around 25,500. Or even if we break 25,500, then I think we can even go to 25,400, 25,430 levels in the short term. So I think immediate levels to watch out in Nifty would be 25,570. अगर यहाँ से एक bullish candle बनता है, तो हो सकता है थोड़ा सा pullback हमें मिले. But if we go below this, then I feel there is even more downside that we can see in Nifty today. If you look at the daily chart, so clearly there is a big bearish candle almost. Previous 2 दिन का जो gains था वो पूरा erase हो गया यहाँ पे. So we were steadily moving higher, almost एक gap बना था, gap fill हुआ, but वो sustain नहीं कर पाए on the higher side. हम वहीं से नीचे आ गए. जैसे अगर आप देखोगे, जैसे एकदम ये green कैंडल ने पूरा engulf कर दिया था रेड को, आज ये रेड कैंडल ने पूरा engulf कर दिया है ग्रीन को. So clearly आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे the bulls were dominant and now the bears are dominant. And the way this candle is forming here, I think there is some heavy, pressure that we are seeing. I mean, looking like, I think it has broken the 25,570 mark. I feel we can see more downside if, Nifty fails to hold above this level here. If you look at Sensex, तो Sensex का भी similar story है. अगर आपको याद है, हमने ऊपर 83,600 का लेवल देखा था कल के सेशन में. And it kind of broke above this level. आज हम एकदम थोड़ा सा एक mild gap up opening मिला था 83,799. So roughly around 83,979. That is roughly around 84,000. That is a strong resistance for Sensex. और हम वहीं से नीचे आ गए. In fact, now the key level for, I think even Sensex has broken below its key support level. आज सेंसेक्स का वीकली एक्सपायरी है बीइंग थर्सडे. सो आई फील सेंसेक्स हैज I think this is a strong support level for Sensex, somewhere around 80 to 830, 80 to 800. I think that is the level to watch out. Maybe another 95 points down. I think if we move below 83, 800, then I feel we can at least move towards 82, 500 in the short term. So 80 to 800 is where the first support is, and the next support lies in that 80 to 500 zone. So very important to see whether Sensex holds on to 80 to 800. So clearly, I think don't look for opportunities on the buy side today. Agar buy side hoga to bhi I feel there can be a mild pullback, but I feel the overall trend is down considering the fact that हम एक U-shape recovery I don't think we can expect that. But 80 to 800 से एक reversal शायद हमें देखने को मिल सकता है if it holds on to that. If not, then I think chances are that we can move even lower towards 80 to 500 on an intraday basis. If you look at बैंक निफ्टी, सो बैंक निफ्टी ऑल्सो अगर आपको याद है कल हमने ये डिस्कस किया था 12:30 के आसपास 61,300 के ऊपर 10-15 मिनट सस्टेन करता है तो हो सकता है शायद एक अच्छा पुल बैक हमें देखने को मिले. वही हुआ कल. इट वेंट अप, हमने ट्रेंड लाइन भी ड्रॉ किया था एक सपोर्ट लेके, वही से ऊपर गया. एंड टुडे बैंक निफ्टी मेड अ हाई ऑफ 61,678. But just like Nifty and Sensex, even Bank Nifty couldn't sustain, and even Bank Nifty has moved down and it is below its key support here. So I think 61,030, 61,000 एक strong support है Bank Nifty के लिए. अगर ये जल्दी से फिर से 61,000 रिक्लेम कर लेता है देन हो सकता है थोड़ा हमें पुल बैक देखने को मिल सकता है टुवर्ड्स 60 to 160, 60 to 170. बट अगर ये 61,000 के ऊपर रिक्लेम नहीं करता है देन आई थिंक चांसेस आर दैट इवन बैंक निफ्टी कैन मूव डाउन इवन फर्दर. And I feel the next support for Bank Nifty would be around 6,800, 6,800, 6,700 is where the next support is placed for Bank Nifty. So clearly I think Bank Nifty में अगर आप देखोगे एक अच्छा खासा बाउंस हमें मिला था 20-day ये में से. Again there is a sizable bearish candle that has been formed that has completely engulfed the green candle here. So clearly the trend is negative in Bank Nifty as well. So I feel 25,570 key support level for Nifty. 80 to 800 is a key support level for Sensex. While I think Bank Nifty till the time it is below 61,000, the trend is likely to remain weak. Now, if you look at the key sectors to watch based on the relative rotational graph, so I feel a lot of sectors are almost stagnant. Consumer durables has become flat, realty is going down, energy is going down, oil and gas is going down, media is almost flat, auto is going down. I feel the sectors to watch out would definitely be financial services. There are certain stocks from the financial services space that are doing well. सो फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में अगर आप देखोगे रेशियो चार्ट में स्ट्रेंथ भी है और मोमेंटम भी है. सेकेंडली आई फील फार्मा एंड हेल्थ केयर. आई मीन अगर आपको याद है 2-3 दिन पहले हमने देखा था कि फार्मा माइट बी on the verge of a consolidation breakout. Even a couple of healthcare names are doing well. So pharma and healthcare along with financial services and some of your banking space as well. Maybe PSU banks are already strong, but there are a couple of private banks, that can do well. So I think it's still avoid on IT because IT अभी भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो अभी भी वो lagging quadrant में ही है. So I feel 4 sectors to keep an eye on. One would be Nifty Financial Services, select pockets of private banks and PSU banks, and your Nifty Pharma and healthcare names. So these are the sectors that can likely outperform in the coming sessions. Now that we know the sectors, now let's discuss the stocks that are looking good from these particular sectors. The first sector, like I said, healthcare by Nifty's ratio chart. So we are seeing some strong traction that is being built up in the healthcare space. So अगर आपको याद है हमने 2 दिन पहले Laurus Labs देखा था. So Laurus Labs, it was kind of consolidating in a range. And it's given a breakout here, but I feel another stock part of the pharma space as well. It's Biocon. सो बायोकॉन यहाँ पे 200 डे ईएमए के पास काफी टाइम हॉवर कर रहा था, और अब थोड़ा सा एक स्टेडी मूवमेंट नजर आ रही है ऑन दी अपसाइड. सो एज लॉन्ग एज ये 200 डे ईएमए के ऊपर ट्रेड करता है बायोकॉन, विच इज द लेवल ऑफ 370, chances are that Biocon is one stock that can do well. I think if it moves above 385, 388, I think it can move towards 400, 405 in the short term, but the immediate support is around 370. Apart from that, like I said, even pharma is seeing some strong traction. हमने RRG में भी देखा, pharma has moved to the leading quadrant. मतलब pharma sector leading quadrant मतलब ये sector में strength भी है और ये sector में momentum भी है. So couple of names, one would be JB Chemicals and Pharma. If you remember, we had discussed this on 16th of Feb. एक strong breakout के बाद 2 दिन consolidation हुआ था, and we are seeing some follow through move coming in, though it is not very convincing, but nevertheless the overall structure is still positive. And as long as it stays above 1940, 1950, the overall trend for JB Chemicals and Pharma looks positive. Apart from that, even Ajanta Pharma की अगर हम बात करें, even this stock has been seeing a strong trend, and it's kind of taking a breather since the last 3 sessions. अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे एक strong support लिया था 50 डे EMA के आसपास, और वहां से एक steady move देखने को मिला था. So ये 3 दिन में, so I think if it goes above 2990, 3000, that's a key resistance zone for Ajanta Pharma. And I think once this zone is taken out, chances are that even Ajanta Pharma, can do well and likely move higher from the current levels. Apart from that, like I said, even financial services, that is also one sector that is, outperforming the Nifty index. A couple of names, from the financial services space. One would be ICICI Prudential. So if you look at ICICI Prudential, there were a couple of times where ICICI Prudential took support from its 200 day EMA. And from there on, we are seeing some signs of recovery. And it's very important for ICICI Prudential to stay above 645, 650. As long as ICICI Prudential stays above 650, chances are that it can move towards 665, followed by 680 levels in the short term. And on the downside, the zone of 630 is very important. It needs to hold above 630. That is where the 200 day EMA for the stock is placed. और जब तक ये 630 के ऊपर है, the overall trend is likely to remain positive. Even Bajaj Finance, so post giving a downward sloping trend line breakout, if you see, Bajaj Finance has been moving in a tight range. It's moving in a 1030 to 1000 range, in the last 4 sessions. And any strong breakout above 1030, that could lead to continuation of up move on the upside. I think it can move towards 1060, 1065 levels in the short term, but it needs to hold above 1000. So 1000 is a strong support level for Bajaj Finance, and as long as it holds above 1000, the overall trend again will remain positive. I think one stock, like I said, some select pockets of the banking space, RBL Bank. So RBL Bank has given a fresh breakout above 330. So 330 was acting as a strong resistance. There were multiple attempts made to go past the 330 mark. Again, there was another attempt made somewhere around 16th of Jan, where it came very close to 330. It made a high of 328.45. But today it has kind of, it has almost been, it has kind of broken out the previous resistance zone here around 335, 340. So if it sustains above 330, I feel, RBL Bank can move up higher. But I think if it closes below 330 again, then it might kind of lose momentum. But as long as it stays above 330, the overall trend likely remains positive. Then the next stock is MRPL, Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals. So MRPL gave a breakout, then it kind of saw some profit booking. Then the same level which earlier acted as a resistance has now acted as a support, and there are some, some strong signs of bounce that we are seeing from this zone. So the level of 185, that is likely to act as a strong support. And as long as MRPL stays above 185, the overall trend will remain positive. But अगर ये 185 के नीचे आ जाता है, then हो सकता है ये stock में weakness आए. but till the time it's above 185, chances are that it can continue to keep moving higher. And the last stock that I want to discuss, a stock that looks positive, that is from the defense space, data patterns. So data patterns, you see there was a resistance around 2750, it broke out, and then that same zone, जैसे हमने MRPL का भी चार्ट देखा था वैसे ही चार्ट है. So the earlier resistance zone, it's now acting as a support, और वहां से ही एक steady recovery हमें देखने मिल रहा है data patterns में. So as long as it stays above the 2740, 2750 mark, the overall trend again is likely to remain positive. And I think if it gives a strong close about 2920, I think it can definitely move higher towards 3050, 3060 levels in the short term. So these are the sectors, these are the stocks. And now let us start off with our concept session. So today's concept will be around your upstream companies, upstream oil companies, and downstream oil companies. And how many of you all are aware of this? If you all can let me know in the chat box. क्योंकि क्रूड ऑयल अभी ऑलमोस्ट ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ अ ब्रेकआउट है, $70 अ बैरल के आसपास है. So how many of you all are aware of what are, so oil companies है, उसमें भी दो तरह के oil companies है. एक होता है आपके upstream oil companies, एक होता है आपके downstream oil companies. Does anyone know the difference between upstream and downstream? If you all can comment in the chat box. If you don't know, you can say you don't know, but if you know, you all can just mention कि ये क्या होता है. So for let me explain what is this upstream and downstream companies. तो चलो एक एग्जांपल से समझते हैं. मान लो ये जो एरिया है यहाँ पे बहुत सारा ऑयल है. Okay, there are lot of oil that is present here. Now एक ऐसे कंपनीज है इंडिया में, दो तरह के कंपनीज है. जैसे आपने सुना होगा एक कंपनी का नाम ऑयल इंडिया, सुना है ऑयल इंडिया. दूसरा एक कंपनी का नाम ONGC. वो क्या करते, ये साइट पे आते, इसको पहले ड्रिल करते हैं, बिकॉज ऑयल तो नीचे रहता है. ऑयल को निकालने के लिए पहले ड्रिल करना पड़ेगा, ड्रिलिंग का काम करना पड़ेगा, इसको एक्सप्लोरेशन का काम करना पड़ेगा. फिर वो ड्रिलिंग करते हैं, एक्सप्लोरेशन करते हैं, और वहां से तेल निकलता है. ठीक है, वो क्या करते हैं, वो तेल निकालते हैं, और क्या करेंगे तेल को, ये तेल को वो लोग बेचते हैं. दे सेल ऑफ दिस तेल. अब जब क्रूड ऑयल का जो प्राइसेस है अगर वो बढ़ता है, कैन आई से ये कंपनी को बेनिफिट होगा. इफ क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस गो अप, the prices and the stocks of these companies will also go up, because oil India, because वो तेल जब वो ड्रिल करके निकालते, एक्सप्लोर करके निकालते, वो बेचेंगे, राइट. और बेचेंगे कौन से, मार्केट प्राइस पे बेचेंगे. सो द हायर द क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस, द हायर इज द रेट दैट दे विल गेट ऑन देयर सेलिंग. अब ये ऑयल किसको बेचेंगे, ये ऑयल बेचते हैं डाउनस्ट्रीम कंपनीज को. डाउनस्ट्रीम कंपनीज कौन से कंपनीज होते हैं, जैसे आपका हो गया HPCL, जैसे आपका हो गया BPCL, जैसे आपका हो गया इंडियन ऑयल कॉर्पोरेशन. ये क्या करते हैं, इनसे क्रूड खरीदते. सो क्रूड इज अ रॉ मटेरियल फॉर देम. और जब हायर क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस है, सो जब भी क्रूड ऑयल का प्राइस बढ़ता है ना, तो इनका मार्जिन्स काफी हिट होता है, बिकॉज इनके लिए रॉ मटेरियल इज क्रूड. क्या करते हैं, क्रूड को इसको रिफाइन करते हैं. रिफाइन करके क्या करते हैं, रिफाइन करके इसको दो चीज में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. एक होता है आपका पेट्रोल और एक होता है आपका डीजल. और ये जाता है आपके लिए आपके एविएशन कंपनीज के लिए, उनको डीजल चाहिए होता है, एक्सेट्रा. सो जब भी क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस बढ़ता है, सो अगेन आई थिंक रिलायंस ऑल्सो डज सम काइंड ऑफ ऑयल एक्सप्लोरेशन, बट रिलायंस मेजरली आपके डाउनस्ट्रीम में ही आते हैं. सो ऑयल इंडिया एंड ONGC तेल निकालते, तेल बेचते हैं. अगर क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस बढ़ता है तो ऑयल अपस्ट्रीम कंपनीज है उनमें तेजी देखने को मिलता है हमें. और दूसरी तरफ जो आपके डाउनस्ट्रीम कंपनीज है HPCL, BPCL, वो तेल खरीदते हैं, उनके लिए रॉ मटेरियल है, वो तेल को रिफाइन करते हैं और वहां से पेट्रोल डीजल बनाते हैं, एंड इट काइंड ऑफ गोज हायर. इसके अलावा सो दैट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अपस्ट्रीम एंड डाउनस्ट्रीम। तो जब भी क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस बढ़ेगा, आप देखना ऑयल अपस्ट्रीम कंपनीज यूजुअली पॉजिटिव होते हैं, और जब भी क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस बढ़ते हैं, जो डाउनस्ट्रीम कंपनीज है जैसे एचपीसीएल, बीपीसीएल, आईओसी, उनके जो दाम होते हैं, स्टॉक प्राइसेस होते हैं, उनमें थोड़ा सा प्रेशर दिखाई देता है। नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, कैन यू टेल मी ऐसे कौन से कंपनीज या कौन से इंडस्ट्रीज है जिनको क्रूड इज अ रॉ मटेरियल फॉर देम, और वो क्रूड से कई सारे प्रोडक्ट्स बनते हैं उनका। सो कैन यू नेम सम ऑफ द इंडस्ट्रीज जिनको क्रूड को रिफाइन करके या क्रूड एज अ रॉ मटेरियल ऐसे कंपनीज को लगता है, so a higher crude oil prices kind of hurt their margins. Your exactly one is your paint companies, absolutely, because paint के लिए again crude is a very important raw material, so higher crude oil prices actually hurts the paint companies as well, absolutely. So paint is one company, exactly as Rakesh ji is saying tire, because वो जो tires बनाते हैं, I mean that rubber is basically एक crude derivative से ही बनता है वो rubber. So I think crude is a raw material for a lot of tire companies as well. So tire, paints, apart from that, which other sectors that kind of needs crude? जिनको डीजल चाहिए, जिनको पेट्रोल चाहिए, can I say your aviation companies? I mean like your Indigo, जैसे इंडिगो हो गया, जैसे आपका स्पाइस जेट हो गया, बिकॉज उनको एविएशन जेट फ्यूल चाहिए होता है, जेट फ्यूल अगेन क्रूड से ही होता है, सो अगेन दे हैव टू गेट क्रूड, रिफाइन देम, वहां से इनको खरीदना पड़ता है, बिकॉज अगर क्रूड का भाव ज्यादा हुआ तो ये जो डीजल और पेट्रोल का भाव भी थोड़ा सा बढ़ेगा, बिकॉज दे विल पास इट ऑन। सो इवन फॉर एविएशन कंपनीज देयर मार्जिन्स आल्सो टेक अ हिट, या इवन केमिकल्स फॉर दैट मैटर, जैसे आपके केमिकल्स हो गए। So even a lot of crude is is a raw material for a lot of chemical companies as well. So इनके सारे जो शेयर्स होते हैं, ये कंपनीज होते हैं, जब क्रूड ऑयल प्राइसेस बढ़ती है तो इन सारे शेयरों में थोड़े प्रेशर आते हैं, but whenever crude oil prices go up, it's usually the oil upstream companies that does well, and your downstream oil companies, these are your HPCL, BPCL and IOC. So next time when you look at crude oil prices, बस ऐसे कमेंट मत करना कि ये क्रूड का लेक्चर है, बोर होगा, वक्त बर्बाद होगा. सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट दैट. सो ऑलवेज ट्राई टू रिलेट हाउ a rise in crude oil prices can actually have an impact on the stock markets as well. तो basically आपके oil and gas stocks में ये सारे impact हो सकते हैं. Clear? So I guess that was the concept session for the day. I hope it was informative. Now let us start off with our question and answer session. So if you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So now let's open up with our Q&A. Any doubts, any questions? Where shall I get such chart? Aditya ji, आपको TradingView में मिलेगा. So you can go to tradingview.com. You can just log in with your Gmail ID and you will get these charts on TradingView. It's a free software. I mean, it's a free website. Not a software. And also if you have an SBI Securities mobile app, so TradingView is available on mobile app as well. Pharma is good. Like I said, Nifty Pharma एक strong consolidation आया है. अगर आप Pharma index देखोगे तो it's almost we need a strong close about 22,560, 22,600. I think once we get that, chances are that pharma index can do well. And also agar hum pharma dekhe, it has moved from an improving quadrant to leading quadrant here. So clearly I feel in the coming days, pharma is one particular sector that can likely do well in the coming sessions. So अगर आपके पास अगर SBI के साथ डीमैट अकाउंट है तो आप यू ओपन एनी स्टॉक एंड आप स्टॉक पे क्लिक करोगे तो एक ट्रेडिंग व्यू का आपको चार्ट दिख जाएगा. इट विल सिमिलरली लुक लाइक हाउ यू आर सीइंग ऑन द स्क्रीन योर. या तो आप वहां से देख सकते हो, या अगर आपको अलग से सिर्फ चार्ट्स ही देखने हैं तो आप tradingview.com में जा सकते हो. यू कैन लॉग इन विथ योर जीमेल आईडी एंड यू कैन सी द चार्ट्स देयर. ठीक है. एनी अदर क्वेरीज गाइस, डू लेट मी नो इन द चैट बॉक्स. आज अब कोई इतना क्वेश्चंस पूछ नहीं रहे. आज लगता है आज सब बोर हो गए लगता है. FIs seem to be in a tactical selling. I think that reminds me of one interesting data. In fact, let me show you that. Just a second. So first fortnightly data आज आया था FPI का, the one that we get it on NSDL. So अगर हम देखें, so where is this? So the first 15 days, what the FIs have done, which sectors they have bought, which sectors they have sold. So if you see, capital goods, they have bought around 8,030 crores in just the first half of February 2026. So capital goods, again, strong buying interest in capital goods. Apart from that, if you see financial services already a strong trend mein hai. So they were net sellers in financial services. They had sold around 28,540 crores in the last month, and they bought around 9,360 crores in just the first half of February. Apart from that, metals continue to see strong buying interest. They bought around 3,300 crores. Even oil and gas, they continue to see around 4,675 crores in the first half. Apart from that, I feel these are the four sectors: capital goods, financial services, metals, oil and gas. Some strong buying interest is seen by the FIs. So clearly now, if you look at which are the sectors they are selling, one is FMCG. So FMCG, they've been selling since August 2025. This month, in the first half itself, they have sold around 1,180 crores. Apart from that, even healthcare, though now it looks promising, but ये first half का data है. But भले ही FII इसका selling आया यहाँ पे 1,471 crores का, but at least we can see some healthcare stocks showing some strong buying interest. But IT has been a major selling is seen in IT. We saw IT correct almost by 22% from the recent highs here. So clearly information technology, अगर आप देखोगे, almost 10,956 crores of selling is what we saw in IT. So clearly, I think IT is not in FI's radar for now. So we'll have to wait and see if this improves. Apart from that, I think these are the three sectors. I feel FMCG and IT, these are the weak sectors as far as the FIs are concerned. But in terms of strong sectors, I feel capital goods will be very important. Financial services and even oil and gas and metals. These are the sectors that can do well. Sun Pharma, I think धीरे धीरे अभी I think we have to wait for a breakout above 1725 1730. I think इसके ऊपर अगर breakout आता है तो हो सकता है Sun Pharma ऊपर की तरफ जाए. AI Summit, I'll have to look at the key announcement, but there are a lot of partnerships that are announced by these IT companies with a lot of AI related announcements. So I think I'm working on that data, Arishji. I think give me a day. I think probably by Monday we'll discuss that. I think there are a lot of announcements that has come in from the AI Summit as well. So I was kind of working on that data. Probably by Monday I will show you some key developments that have taken place from the AI Summit. TCS, it's better to exit, Aditya ji, because already overall downtrend में ही है. I think it's better to square off your position and probably reroute your money to some other stock that is doing well. फार्मा स्टॉक जैसे मैंने फार्मा स्टॉक्स में मैं बताता हूँ यहाँ पे देखो, अगर see Oro Pharma is good. Oro Pharma needs to hold above 1160. जैसे Biocon बताया, Biocon is doing well current levels पे. Lupin is one other stock you can consider. Lupin needs to hold about 2120. Glenmark is also a strong stock. I think Glenmark में 2045 2050 के ऊपर अगर breakout मिलता है, then chances are that even Glenmark can do well. Dr. Reddy is also one good stock. I think Dr. Reddy 1300 is a strong resistance, and I think once it moves above that, chances are that even Dr. Reddy can do well. JB Chemicals Pharma we discussed. Torrent Pharma is also positive. It needs to hold above 4,190, 4,200. I think these are some of the names. Apart from that, you can avoid other names. Your Gland, Abbott, avoid kar sakte ho. Ajanta Pharma is good. We discussed that. Zydus Life, Laurus Labs, that is also one good name. सन फार्मा वेट करना है ब्रेकआउट के लिए 1730 1735 आई थिंक, उसके बाद शायद इट कैन काइंड ऑफ गो अप। नवीन फ्लोरिन थोड़ा सा रेंज में, आई थिंक 6500 के ऊपर, आई थिंक it can extend its pullback higher. But for now, there is no traction in this stock. But wait for a breakout above 6480, 6500 in Navin Florin. Previous specialty, yes, good. I think it needs to break above this high. So chemicals can also be in focus. I think 2910, 2915. I think once we get a breakout above this level, chances are that it can do well. So wait for a breakout about 2910. Lloyd SME. I think Lloyd's SME. Can you help me with the symbol? This one, Lloyd's Metal and Lloyd's SME. If we, I think, avoid करना है. Overall, इसका structure down है. 1230. That's where the 50-day EMA is placed for Lloyd's Metals. I think जब तक ये हम 1225 1230 के नीचे है, तब तक the overall trend is likely to remain bearish. Sudhakar ji sir, ignore bad comments. SBI Securities is one of the best app. Your classes are highly informative, full of actual knowledge. We are lucky to listen. Yeah, Sudhakar ji. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you will trolls तो सब जगह होते हैं. I mean, it's very easy, right? जियो ने नेट इतना चीप कर दिया कि आप कहीं पे जाके कुछ भी कमेंट कर सकते हो. I mean, you might not know the person, but you can just leave a nasty comment, without, knowing that. But it doesn't matter. I think I've taken a lot of sessions over the last 8-9 years now. So all these, bad comments and all, it doesn't bother me a bit. I think I try to focus on positives. I think that is what it matters. Oro Pharma, like I said, it needs to hold above 1150, 1140. As long as it holds above this, I think the chances are that it can move up from here. Keep an eye on pharma. I think pharma is one particular sector that can kind of do well. NetWeb Technology is good. I think it needs to hold about 3,300. I think जब तक ये 3,300 के ऊपर है, I think it's coming out of a range breakout here, which is positive. But I think more than, I think 3,470, 3,480 के ऊपर sustain करना चाहिए. I think once it does that, I think it can do well. Punit ji, I think I saw your query. What was your query? Let me see it again. Sir, my wife has an account in Bank of India, but she cannot create demat account in SBI. She can. Why not? Plan fee is not being paid either by ATM nor by internet banking. I mean, you can open a demat account online, na Punit ji, आप कर सकते हो उसमें. I mean, you can open an SBI account by linking your Bank of India account as well. Maybe let me do one thing. होना चाहिए, आप ऑनलाइन जाओगे तो ओपन डीमैट अकाउंट विद एसबीआई सिक्योरिटीज हो जाना चाहिए आपका. आई हैव डन. होल्ड करना सन फार्मा को, होल्ड अ बिट बिकॉज इट्स जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ ब्रेकआउट. आई थिंक लेट मी सी पुनीत जी, आप आई मीन ये देखो, आप ऐसे कर सकते हो. एसबीआई सिक्योरिटीज, maybe try this, try from this particular side. You can open an online demat account. I think ये अगर आप ऑनलाइन डीमैट अकाउंट खोलते हो तो होना चाहिए. अगर फिर भी नहीं हो रहा तो आप मुझे बताना. I think then I will see if I can connect you with someone. You can do this. I think you can open your demat and trading account from this particular website. Try doing this from your. I think हो जाना चाहिए आपका. Godrej Properties. Avoid. I think reality थोड़ा सा प्रेशर में, थोड़ा और चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर इंप्रूव होना चाहिए. आईडीबीआई बैंक होल्ड. आईडीबीआई बैंक में धीरे धीरे आप मेरे पिछले के मिड मार्केट सेशंस देख सकते हो. ऐसे डिटेल वीडियो नहीं है, बट रोज मैं एक छोटा छोटा कॉन्सेप्ट मैं कवर करता हूँ. जैसे आज हमने देखा IDBI Bank hold karna with a SL of 107. Okay. Q Power. Uh, I think it needs to hold above this particular level, maybe 830, 830, 835. I think as long as it holds above 835, it can be positive. Yeah, so there is one more class today, guys. At 4 o'clock, again, we'll be meeting on SBI Securities channel. So 4 बजे हम आज एक इंटरेस्टिंग ऑप्शन स्ट्रैटेजी के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे, दैट इज कैलेंडर स्प्रेड्स. अगर आपको टाइम डीके का एडवांटेज लेना है, वो कैसे कैलेंडर स्प्रेड्स हम बनाते हैं, there are different expiries that are involved. So we'll have a session, we'll have a 30-45 minute session from 4 to 4:45, somewhere around that period. And that will happen on SBI Securities YouTube channel, guys. So looking forward to your presence there. ये आपको NSDL साइट में मिलेगा. So you have to go to FPI fortnightly, fpi.nsdl.company. So आप यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो February 15. You can click on view report. आपको दिखेंगे ऑटोमोबाइल्स में FIIs का. This is in crores and you can see what is the total equity, कितना है debt, कितना etc. This is where you will get the chart. Nanji, you are very best, very lucid, good job. I need to command. Thank you so much, Nanji. Means a lot. Okay, so I guess that's all from today's mid-market session. I hope it was informative. And see you in a couple of hours at 4 o'clock for the webinar on calendar option spreads. Until then, bye guys, take care. And I might not be there tomorrow, guys. I'm on leave. So my colleague Gautam will be taking the mid-market session and I will directly meet you on Monday. But before that, I'll meet you today at 4 o'clock. And I'm directly up Monday ko milenge for the mid-market session. Until then, bye guys, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. Take care, guys.